time to focus now. We can't say that we are left with a month. Less than a month is left for your board exams to begin. So please fasten your seat belts, pull up your socks, and get ready to be there for your board exams. So as we shared before, here I am presenting the second part. So this is the second part of the chapter class 10th history, that is the part of social science, nationalism in India. So as I promised, I am trying to make this chapter very easy and simple for you, presenting all the keywords that will give weightage to your answer and help you score better. So these videos are very essential for your revisions and for brushing up whatever you have done throughout the year. So in my last video, we discussed about the factors which were eventually laying the foundation of Salmon Commission, right? So non-cooperation movement has ended. It ended abruptly because of the violence at Chauri Chaura. Then finally came so many things one after the other, right? Salmon Commission, and then after Salmon Commission was the famous Salt March, all right, that laid the foundation of civil disobedience movement. So let us begin our today's topic from Salt March. So what was this Salt March? Salt. This is one of the basic ingredient which is used in everybody's kitchen. नमक एक ऐसी चीज है जो हर कोई यूज करता है, चाहे वो अमीर हो, गरीब हो, किसी भी धर्म का हो, कोई भी भाषा बोलने वाला हो. तो गांधी जी ने देखा कि through salt he can unite Indians, and there was a tax known as salt tax. And let me tell you, the salt tax was 1,000 times more than the actual cost of the salt. तो इसको नमक कानून बोला जाता था. तो गांधी जी ने एक लेटर लिखा लॉर्ड इरविन को, जो उस समय हमारे इंडिया के वॉइसरॉय थे, और वो जो लेटर था, इट वाज इन द फॉर्म ऑफ एन अल्टीमेटम, राइट? सो ही रोट दैट लेटर इन जनवरी 1930, और उसमें उन्होंने 11 डिमांड्स लिखी that we want these 11 demands to be fulfilled. The most important demand was to abolish the salt tax, right? ये डिमांड उन्होंने लिख के भेजी, और उसमें ये भी लिखा गया that if the British government is not going to fulfill our demands, we are going to launch civil disobedience movement. तो बिल्कुल गांधी जी ने ऐसे ही करा. फाइनली जब 11th मार्च 1930 तक कुछ नहीं हुआ, on 12th of March 1930 गांधी जी started his famous Dandi March, right? That is also known as your Salt March. तो गांधी जी he started from साबरमती आश्रम which is in Gujarat near Ahmedabad. साबरमती आश्रम से लेकर गांधी जी डांडी तक पैदल चल के गए. गांधी जी के सपोर्ट में उनके 78 volunteers they joined him, and then on 6th of April 1930 Gandhi reached Dandi. Dandi ji, it's a small village in the coastal area of Gujarat. वो वहां पहुंचे, and there he boiled the salty water and he made salt. So salt banana was what? It was breaking up of colonial rule. Which rule? The salt law, right? In which the monopoly of manufacturing the salt was in the hands of Britishers. It was not given to Indians. तो सबसे पहला नमक कानून ही तोड़ा गया था गांधी जी के द्वारा in your salt march. And on 6th of April 1930, when he broke the salt law by making the salt, so this is marked as the beginning of CDM. यहीं से हम CDM की शुरुआत मानते. So please be very clear about it. Civil disobedience movement 12th मार्च को शुरू नहीं हुआ था. 12th मार्च को शुरू हुआ था डांडी मार्च, and 6th April 1930 को शुरू हुआ था civil disobedience movement. And then various salt marches were organized by different leaders across our country. So here we have seen this was the beginning of Dandi March, and Dandi March followed the civil disobedience movement, right? तो civil disobedience movement गांधी जी ने clearly बोला था कि हम colonial rules made by Britishers to be broken, हम उनको break करेंगे, right? So now let's come to the differences between NCM, that is your non-cooperation movement, and civil disobedience movement. Non-cooperation movement was launched on January 1921 and it ended on 5th of February 1922 after Chauri Chaura. CDM started from 6th of April 1930. Okay. Non-cooperation movement sought to bring the working of government to a standstill by not cooperating with the administration, and civil disobedience was breaking of the rules and regulations like non-payment of the chokidari taxes, going into the forest against the Forest Act and all. Then there was a large-scale participation of Muslim working class in NCM because of non-cooperation Khilafat movement. Lot many Muslims were also there. But in CDM you will find less participation of Muslims because ब्रिटिशर्स ने यहाँ पर अपनी डिवाइड एंड पॉलिसी वापस से शुरू कर दी थी. ओके, दे डिवाइडेड हिंदूज एंड मुस्लिम्स इन द नेम ऑफ रिलीजन एंड इट वर्कड आल्सो हियर. The non-cooperation was geographical confined to certain areas, but here you will find that there was much mass participation. Lakhs of people were inside the jail during civil disobedience movement, alright, including women. Then non-cooperation was called in 1922 because of Chauri Chaura incident, and then this movement was withdrawn after the signing of Gandhi-Irwin Pact. Gandhi-Irwin Pact was signed on 5th of March 1931. So that was a kind of negotiation between Gandhi ji and Lord Irwin. Now civil disobedience movement. Okay, so this is the course of the movement, how it went about. तो यहाँ पे क्या करा हमने, वापस से बहुत सारी चीजें हुई. Boycotting the foreign goods and services. Boycott means when you do not use, जब आप किसी चीज का यूज बिल्कुल बंद कर देते हो, आप उसको इग्नोर कर देते हो. Payment of taxes will not be done. Breaking of the forest laws. The British government followed a policy of brutal repression. Again, Britishers were doing the same thing like they did during NCM. British government arrested all the leaders, including Gandhiji and Nehru. Gandhiji called off the movement after Gandhi-Irwin Pact. Now, what was this Gandhi-Irwin Pact? It was a kind of negotiation. एक तरह का समझौता, गांधी इरविन समझौता जो हुआ था गांधी जी और लॉर्ड इरविन के बीच में, साइन हुआ था 5 मार्च 1931 को, जिसमें गांधी जी ने इरविन को ये बोला कि आप सबसे पहले तो जितने भी हमारे लीडर्स हैं उनको आप रिलीज करिए. ऑल द पॉलिटिकल प्रिजनर्स दे शुड बी रिलीज्ड, राइट. दिस वाज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट डिमांड. और लॉर्ड इरविन ने बोला कि ठीक है, विल डू इट. आपको उसके लिए एक तो जो राउंड टेबल कॉन्फ्रेंस है विच वॉज बीइंग हेल्ड इन लंडन, सेकेंड राउंड टेबल कॉन्फ्रेंस होने वाला था इन द ईयर 1931. एक तो गांधी जी को वो अटेंड करना पड़ेगा एंड सेकेंडली सिविल डिसोबीडियंस मूवमेंट को भी रोकना पड़ेगा. सो दे अग्रीड एंड दैट इज व्हाई इट केम टू बी नोन एज द पैक्ट, राइट. सो दिस इज योर गांधी इरविन पैक्ट. 2 मार्क्स क्वेश्चन यहाँ पे बिल्कुल आ सकता है कि कब साइन हुआ था एंड लाइक व्हाट वर द फीचर्स ऑफ गांधी इरविन पैक्ट. Now let us move on to the next slide. So now let's come to this new slide. So 5th March the pact was signed. In December 1931 Gandhiji went to second round table conference to attend it, but he came back and he was very disappointed, and Gandhiji relaunched civil disobedience, but by 1934 it was not so famous as it was previously. So this was all about the civil disobedience movement, right. First of all it was launched in 1930. 1931 में बंद कर दिया गया था. गांधी जी लंदन गए, बट गांधी जी वॉज डिसअपॉइंटेड. नाउ क्वेश्चन कम्स कि गांधी जी डिसअपॉइंटेड हुए क्यों? इसलिए हुए बिकॉज गांधी जी वेंट देयर विद सम अदर एस्पिरेशन. उनको लगा कि उन्होंने जो भी चीजें डिमांड करी है स्वराज के लिए, ऑल दीज थिंग्स विल बी टॉक्ड, बट इन लंदन दीज थिंग्स वर नॉट टॉक्ड. दे वर बेसिकली टॉकिंग अबाउट गिविंग reservations to Dalits and all. So this is what something which Gandhiji did not like. He said that the concept of reservation, it will create disunity in the country. So now let's come to the next slide after this. How participants saw the movement. So here we are going to talk about the people who participated, right? इससे पहले ही हमने पढ़ा था कि सिविल डिसोबीडियंस मूवमेंट में बहुत एक लार्ज स्केल पार्टिसिपेशन था. Women, including women, there were so many people who participated and lakhs of people were in the jail, right? तो अब ये participants थे कौन कौन? तो जो participants थे, we can just divide them into the category like rich and the poor. Rich में आपके आ जाएंगे industrialists, businessmen and the rich peasants also. और second category होगी for the poor people. Poor people में कौन आएंगे? Farmers, poor farmers, right? जिनके पास बहुत कम जमीन है, जिनके पास जमीन ही नहीं है, and the poor workers who are working in the industries, right? और जो एक बहुत ही distinguishing feature था civil disobedience movement का, वो था women participation. Women also participated in CDM, right? So these are the 5 participants. Let's come to the rich peasants. So the rich peasants, who were these rich peasants? They were the Jats of Uttar Pradesh and the Patidars of Gujarat who participated in civil disobedience movement. So when the British refused to do so, okay, when they said that we will not reduce your taxes, so they also joined the movement. For them, the fight for Swaraj was a struggle against high revenues. High revenue को कम करना was the demand of rich peasants. They did not rejoin the movement as the movement was called out without revising the revenue rates. और दोबारा जब 1932 में फिर से गांधी जी ने इसको लॉन्च करा था तो उस समय इन्होंने पार्टिसिपेट नहीं करा था बिकॉज दे फेल्ट कि शायद अब हमारी डिमांड्स को पूरा करा ही नहीं जाएगा. अब सेकंड सेगमेंट मैंने आपको बताया पुअर पीजेंट्स. ओके, ये वो पीजेंट्स हैं जो लैंडलेस है या जिनके पास बहुत कम जमीन है. सो दे वांटेड रेंट्स टू बी रिमिटेड. उनकी डिमांड ये थी कि जो भी रेंट है उनको पूरी तरीके से माफ कर दिया जाए. कांग्रेस वाज अनविलिंग टू सपोर्ट देम. क्यों? इसलिए क्योंकि पुअर पीजेंट्स और रिच पीजेंट्स की डिमांड एक दूसरे के लिए कॉन्ट्राडिक्टरी थी. रिच पीजेंट्स ये बोल रहे थे कि रेवेन्यू कम करो, पुअर पीजेंट्स बोल रहे थे कि माफ करो. अगर रेवेन्यू माफ हो जाए तो रिच पीजेंट्स के पास कुछ भी नहीं जाएगा. सो कांग्रेस हैड टू डिसाइड कि वो रिच पीजेंट्स का सपोर्ट करे या फिर वो पुअर को करे. एंड सिंस रिच पीपल were sponsoring the campaigns of Congress, so they went with the rich ones. So Congress was unwilling to support no rent campaigns due to the fear of upsetting the rich peasants and landlords. कांग्रेस को यही डर था यहाँ पर कि ये जो अमीर लैंडलॉर्ड्स हैं, फार्मर्स हैं, ये हमको सपोर्ट करना बंद ना कर दे, राइट, इनका सपोर्ट हट ना जाए. सो दे हैड टू मेक द चॉइस और उन्होंने रिच फार्मर्स की डिमांड को आगे रखा. Now let us come to the next group, that is the third group which participated in the movement, right? So third group is the business class, the rich people. So after the war, we're talking about the World War I. World War I के बाद में profits were reduced. They wanted protection against import of foreign goods. So Indian business class, Indian producers, industrialists, they wanted कि foreign से जो सामान आ रहा है वो कम से कम आना चाहिए. क्यों आना चाहिए? इसलिए ताकि ये लोग जो सामान प्रोड्यूस कर रहे हैं वो इंडियंस खरीदे, राइट. सो दे वांटेड इंपोर्ट्स टू बी डिक्लाइंड, राइट. टू ऑर्गेनाइज बिजनेस इंटरेस्ट दे फॉर्म्ड इंडियन इंडस्ट्रियल एंड कॉमर्शियल कांग्रेस इन 1920. प्लीज रिमेंबर दिस वर्ड IICC. 1920 में इंडियन बिजनेस क्लास ने बनाया था इंडियन इंडस्ट्रियल एंड कॉमर्शियल कांग्रेस टू पुट फॉरवर्ड द डिमांड्स एंड द इंटरेस्ट ऑफ बिजनेस क्लास. फिर उसके बाद 1927 में आया फिक्की जो आज भी हमारी कंट्री में है. दैट इज द फुल फॉर्म इज फेडरेशन ऑफ इंडियन चेंबर ऑफ कॉमर्स एंड इंडस्ट्रीज. ओके, इट इज नोन एज फिकी. इन 1927 इट केम अप और 1920 में IICC. द स्प्रेड ऑफ मिलिटेंट एक्टिविटीज, वरीज ऑफ प्रोलॉन्ग बिजनेस डिस्ट्रप्शंस, ग्रोइंग इन्फ्लुएंस ऑफ सोशलिज्म अमंग्स द यंग लीडर्स. अभी नए यंग लीडर्स थे कौन? ये थे जवाहरलाल नेहरू, सुभाष चंद्र बोस. दे फोर्स्ड देम नॉट टू जॉइन द मूवमेंट. तो इन्होंने भी शुरू में तो काफी पार्टिसिपेट करा था सिविल डिसोबीडियंस में, बट लेकिन बाद में इन्होंने नहीं करा क्योंकि जो नए लीडर्स आ रहे थे कांग्रेस के, दे वर मोर टुवर्ड्स सोशलिज्म, लाइक जवाहरलाल नेहरू, राइट. एंड सोशलिज्म इज समथिंग व्हिच बिजनेस क्लास डज नॉट सपोर्ट. दे सपोर्ट कैपिटलिज्म, राइट. नाउ मूविंग ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट स्लाइड. We have the next slide with us, industrial workers, right. Now again we have the rich, poor, rich, and then again poor. So even they did not participate much in CDM, right, except in the Nagpur region. Okay, as industrialists they came closer to the Congress, so the workers they felt themselves to be alienated, right. अब इनकी लड़ाई किसके लिए थी? इनकी लड़ाई थी अगेंस्ट लो वेजेस. ये चाहते थे कि इनके वेजेस बढ़े, इनको बेटर वर्किंग कंडीशंस मिले, राइट. एंड दीज थिंग्स वर नॉट फेवरेबल फॉर द बिजनेस क्लास, क्योंकि अगर वो इन पे काम करने लगे तो उनका प्रॉफिट कम हो जाएगा. सो अगेन द डिमांड्स ऑफ बिजनेसमैन and the demands of industrial workers were contradictory, just like rich peasant and poor peasant. So these are some of the instances where the workers they participated. Railway workers, they went on a strike in 1930. Chota Nagpur mines workers strike was in 1930. And let me tell you here one more thing, that these people they wore Gandhi caps. ठीक है, गांधी कैप्स पहन करके उन्होंने CDM पे पार्टिसिपेट करा. And the dock workers strike was there in the year 1932. So after this we will look for the participation of women. So women also participated, alright, and their participation was large scale, especially the women who belonged to higher caste in the rural areas, and the women who belong to good families, rich families in urban areas, they participated in civil disobedience movement, right? And they saw that it was their duty. ठीक है, उनको लगा कि ये हमारी ड्यूटी बनती, इट्स अ सेक्रेड ड्यूटी दैट वी शुड फाइट फॉर आवर कंट्री. So they came out of their homes and they participated. So they also participated in the march, manufactured salt and picketed foreign cloth and liquor shops. Congress was reluctant to give any position to women, right? So Congress बिल्कुल नहीं चाहता था कोई political position women को देने के लिए, but still women they became a very important part in CDM. गांधी जी ने भी इस चीज को बहुत appreciate करा, the women power as he saw in civil disobedience movement. But still Gandhiji always believed that women must work only for their homes, right? So the highest duty for women is to look after her family, her children and her home. That is what Gandhiji believed in, right? So this is the participation of women in civil disobedience movement. Now limits of CDM. Limits का क्या मतलब होता है? Limits means the place where you fail, a specific point, okay, that's a line कि आप उसके beyond नहीं जा सकते, that is your limit, right? So limits of civil disobedience means the people who did not participate in CDM. So there were two groups who did not, the Muslim community and the Dalits. So now let's come to the first group, the inclination of untouchables who were known as Dalits. दलित इनको नाम दिया था किसने? B.R. Ambedkar ने. To depress class movement and their indifferent attitude towards this movement, right? So they did not participate. Why they did not participate? Because Gandhiji did not support the idea of giving reservations to the Dalits. Gandhiji was against it. गांधीजी कहते थे कि इसके वजह से कंट्री में डिसयूनिटी आएगी, मैं नहीं चाहता हूं कि रिजर्वेशंस मिले, ठीक है? सो दैट इज द रीजन दलित्स ने नहीं पार्टिसिपेट करा, एंड दीज दलित्स they were united together by Dr. Ambedkar, okay, in his Depressed Class Association. Depressed Classes Association was also formed in the year 1930. Indifferent or partial cooperation of traders and businessmen due to growing influence of socialism. तो शुरू में तो इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट ने पार्टिसिपेट करा, लेकिन बाद में इन्होंने भी नहीं करा. Indifferent attitude of peasants after Gandhi impact. Industrial workers were away क्योंकि rich people were supporting. Lukewarm response of Muslim political organization. So now when we talk about the Muslim community here, so Muslims under Muhammad Ali Jinnah, जो मुस्लिम लीग के प्रेसिडेंट थे, उनकी भी यही डिमांड थी कि मुस्लिम्स को एक तो ऑटोनॉमी मिले, प्रोविंशियल ऑटोनॉमी मिले, प्लस दे शुड आल्सो बी गिवन सेपरेट इलेक्टोरेट्स, राइट? मतलब उनके लिए रिजर्वेशंस वाला कॉन्सेप्ट होना चाहिए, which again Gandhi ji did not support, CDM did not support. So the Muslims and the Dalits, they did not participate in civil disobedience movement, right? So now let's come on to the next one. Gandhiji's work towards upliftment of Dalits, right? Gandhiji said that giving reservations to Dalits is not the solution, right? We have to work for them. Fine, हमको उनको सोसाइटी के साथ में लाने के लिए उनको सोसाइटी के साथ ही रहना पड़ेगा. We should not give them reservation. So these are some of the constructive program organized by Gandhiji for helping out the Dalits, right? So Gandhiji declared that Swaraj would not come by eliminating untouchability. इसीलिए जो हमारा कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन है, according to our constitution, under right to equality, article number 17, untouchability is banned. तो गांधी जी ने बोला स्वराज तब तक नहीं मिलेगा जब तक अनटचेबिलिटी खत्म नहीं होगी. He called untouchables, उन्होंने untouchables को नया नाम दिया हरिजन, that is the children of the God. Please remember here, Dalit was given by Dr. Ambedkar and Harijan is given by Gandhiji. He organized satyagrah to secure them entry into temples, जहाँ पे उनको पहले अलाउ नहीं किया जाता था, access to public wells, tanks, roads and schools. He himself, Gandhiji himself used to go to the washrooms and get them cleaned to dignify the work, right? He persuaded upper caste to give up the sin of untouchability. तो गांधी जी ने यही बोला लोगों को कि वी शुड नॉट प्रैक्टिस अनटचेबिलिटी, दिस इज समथिंग इनह्यूमन, राइट? सो नाउ लेट अस कम टू द नेक्स्ट वन आफ्टर दिस, पूना पैक्ट. नाउ व्हाट वाज पूना पैक्ट? तो सेकेंड राउंड टेबल कॉन्फ्रेंस में बात हुई कि दलित्स को रिजर्वेशंस मिले, उनको कम्युनल अवार्ड्स मिले, और थर्ड राउंड टेबल कॉन्फ्रेंस विच वाज इन द ईयर 1932, उसमें उनको रिजर्वेशन दे भी दिए गए जिसको बोला जाता है कम्युनल अवार्ड्स. And the person behind this was Dr. Ambedkar, who is also known as the father of Indian Constitution. तो Ambedkar emerged as the leader of Dalits. In 1932 he organized them in depressed classes association, right? सारे दलित्स को ऑर्गेनाइज करवाया बी आर अम्बेडकर जी ने. फिर उसके बाद में सेकंड राउंड टेबल कॉन्फ्रेंस जब हुआ था, सेकंड आरटीसी इन लंदन 1931 में, तो अंबेडकर एंड गांधी जी के बीच में काफी हॉट डिस्कशंस हुए रिजर्वेशंस को लेकर के. अंबेडकर रिजर्वेशंस चाहते थे, गांधी जी रिजर्वेशंस नहीं चाहते थे, बट फाइनली ब्रिटिशर्स ने अंबेडकर जी की बात मानी एंड रिजर्वेशंस मिल गए इन द फॉर्म ऑफ कम्युनल अवार्ड्स. नाउ व्हेन गांधी जी केम टू नो अबाउट इट, राइट, जब गांधी जी को अरेस्ट कर लिया गया था सिविल डिसोबीडियंस मूवमेंट के टाइम पे, जब उन्होंने सॉल्ट लॉ ब्रेक करा था, तो गांधी जी जेल में थे. ही वाज इन अ जेल, यरवदा जेल इन पुणे, ही वाज देयर. तो गांधी जी को जैसे ही पता चला कि कम्युनल अवार्ड्स मिल चुके हैं दलित्स को, सो गांधी जी स्टार्टेड हिज हंगर स्ट्राइक. गांधी जी भूख हड़ताल पे बैठ गए और उनको मनाने के लिए एक्चुअली बी आर अम्बेडकर आए टू द जेल ऑफ पुणे टू मीट गांधी जी, और उन्होंने गांधी जी को मनाया एंड दे केम अप विद द पूना पैक्ट. दिस इज नोन एज पूना पैक्ट बिकॉज इट वाज साइंड इन पूना. ठीक है, पुणे को पूना बोला जाता था. सो दिस वाज साइंड and according to this Ambedkar gave reserved seats in provincial and central councils but were voted by general electorate. मतलब separate electorate was not given. तो थोड़ी सी बात गांधी जी ने अंबेडकर की मान ली, अंबेडकर जी ने थोड़ी सी बात गांधी जी की मान ली. सो इट इज नोन एज पैक्ट, राइट. सो प्रोविंशियल एंड सेंट्रल काउंसिल्स में अब सीट रिजर्व होंगी, लेकिन जो वोटिंग होगी वो जनरल इलेक्टोरेट से ही होगी. इट विल नॉट बी सेपरेट इलेक्टोरेट. सो नाउ लेट्स कम टू द नेक्स्ट वन. सो दिस ऑल अबाउट पूना पैक्ट. Pune Pact was signed in the year 1932. So here we have the next slide now. Let's come to the next slide, that is the sense of collective belongingness. So as we have seen in the chapter nationalism in Europe, nationalism हमेशा revolt, struggle, protest, revolution, wars के through नहीं आता है. Nationalism also comes through culture, right? So same it happened in India also. Culture also played a very important role in bringing nationalism. So this sense of collective belongingness, सबसे पहले हमको कब लगा कि हम सब एक साथ हैं? That was our struggle through Britishers. When unitedly everybody fought, rich, poor, Hindu, Muslim, whomsoever were there. जब हर किसी को लगा कि ब्रिटिशर्स के अगेंस्ट हमको लड़ना है, अपनी कंट्री को इंडिपेंडेंट डिक्लेयर करना है, so we came all together. Right, so that is the first reason. History was revived, fiction, folklore, songs, popular prints, they also played a very important role in bringing nationalism. Like whenever we sing Vande Mataram or Jan Gan Man, we also feel, we always feel filled with the feelings of nationalism, right? हमको एक feeling आती है nationalism की और unity की, right? Then the identification of nation, जैसे कि allegories थी nationalism in Europe में, ऐसे ही India was also given a figure. So India came to be associated with Bharat Mata, right? And the first image of Bharat Mata was depicted by Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay. 1870, in the year 1870 itself, Vande Mataram was written by Bankim Chandra Chatterjee as a hymn to the motherland. So this is a very important one mark question कि Vande Mataram का who is the composer? किसने लिखा Vande Mataram? So Vande Mataram was written by Bankim Chandra Chatterjee, and later on Vande Mataram was included in his novel, that is your Anand Math. So you should be ready with both the questions. Anand Math किसने लिखी? Bankim Chandra Chatterjee ने लिखी. Vande Mataram किसने लिखा? Bankim Chandra Chatterjee ने लिखा, right? And here you can see the image of Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay also. Chattopadhyay, Chatterjee, same. Now moving on to the next one. So the next was, this is the image of Bharat Mata. ठीक है, तो इंडिया जो एक नेशन का जो कॉन्सेप्ट था, राइट, दैट इज बेसिकली एन एब्स्ट्रैक्ट कॉन्सेप्ट. उसको एक कंक्रीट फॉर्म दिया गया थ्रू अ फीमेल फिगर, राइट, एंड दैट फीमेल फिगर इन आवर कंट्री इज नोन एज भारत माता. देन आफ्टर दिस द फोक टेल्स वर आल्सो रिटन डाउन. तो व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट मद्रास, नतेसा शास्त्री, राइट, व्हाट ही डिड वाज दैट ही कलेक्टेड द तमिल फोक टेल्स, राइट, and he published them under the folklore of southern India. तो एक बार यहाँ से मैप क्वेश्चन भी आया था कि the place to which नतेसा शास्त्री belonged to. तो नतेसा शास्त्री कहाँ के थे? मद्रास के थे, and he is a writer for this Tamil folk tales, the folklore of southern India. First image of Bharat Mata was created, okay, it was painted by Abhindranath, Tagore in the year 1905, right? Next, now we'll have the next one. So that these are the early flags. So today we have our tricolor flag. Everybody knows about it. We have 3 colors, right? तो जो हमारे पहले जो flags आए थे, these flags were also used, right? They were hosted, they were carried along with the people. जब भी protest पे, strike पे, demonstration पे लोग निकलते थे, तो इन्हीं flags को साथ में ले लेकर निकलते थे. This is your स्वदेशी flag and this is your स्वराज flag. जो पहला flag है ये आया था 1905 में at the time of Bengal partition, right? It has 3 colors, green, yellow and red, as you can see on the screen, right? And then it has 8 lotuses. So these 8 lotuses, they are depicting the 8 provinces. ठीक है, ये जो 8 provinces थे हमारे उस टाइम पे ब्रिटिशर्स के अंडर, उनको डिपिक्ट कर रहा है. And moon is here, crescent shaped moon. This was done to show Hindu Muslim unity. ठीक है, तो जो बंगाल पार्टीशन हुआ था वो बेसिकली हिंदू मुस्लिम यूनिटी को ब्रेक करने के लिए ही हुआ था. ईस्ट बंगाल एंड वेस्ट बंगाल में हिंदूज को रखा गया, ईस्ट बंगाल में मुस्लिम्स को. तो ये जो डिवीजन था हिंदूज और मुस्लिम्स का, ये ब्रिटिशर्स ने स्टार्ट किया था हमारी कंट्री में. तो ये था ऑल अबाउट द स्वदेशी फ्लैग. लेट्स कम टू द सेकंड फ्लैग, दैट इज द स्वराज फ्लैग. दिस फ्लैग वाज डिजाइन्ड ड्यूरिंग नॉन कॉपरेशन मूवमेंट. नॉन कॉपरेशन मूवमेंट वाज लॉन्च्ड इन 1921 और इस फ्लैग को डिजाइन करा था गांधी जी ने. So this was also a tricolor flag and there were 3 colors, white, green and red color with this charkha in the center. Charkha here is symbolizing the self-help, right? Okay. Gandhiji always believed that work is worship. Fine. And the greatest help that we can do is the self-help. Fine. हमको अपना काम खुद करना चाहिए. That is what Gandhiji believed. So this was the flag which was carried during the non-cooperation movement. Okay, and it is known as Swaraj flag. So you should know Swaraj flag was designed by Gandhiji in 1921. Now let's come to the next slide. So here we have the major factors which promoted the sense of nationalism. So overall, whatever we have done, first is colonial exploitation in India. We were exploited a lot. Every section of the society was exploited by Britishers, right? Understanding of the true nature of British rule, we came to know कि Britishers India में rule कर रहे हैं सिर्फ और सिर्फ India को exploit करने के लिए. Okay. Racial discrimination, role of Mahatma Gandhi and other leaders, and impact of nationalist literature, song, poems, and folklores. So overall, these were the main reasons because of which nationalism came in India, right? Okay, so dear students, with this, we have come to an end of the second part of the chapter Nationalism in India. So by now, we have completed 2 chapters, Nationalism in India and Nationalism in Europe. Congratulations to all of us. So keep watching and we are waiting for your valuable feedback. As such, I'm getting so many feedbacks from my students. So that's very exciting to go through those feedbacks. And soon I'll be coming up with more chapters of history and even political science if I'll tell you. So please prepare well for your board exams. Best of luck. Do like, share and subscribe. Thank you everybody for watching this series.